Greetings, salutation, my friends. My name is Casey J. Hutchins. I'm a writer by trade and a gamer unpaid. Today we're here to talk about Aura. If you've watched a couple of my TikToks, you know I've mentioned it a couple times. So Aura is the internal fighting spirit. Its strength is determined by the person's their willpower, their determination, their creativity, their ability to see what they want and go for it. What's the word? Why do I not remember it? The ability just to never give up. So it could be attributed to stubbornness. So those who can visualize what they want, or not what they want, but those who can stand on their own 2 feet and not budge an inch when they put their mind to it. So when it's visualized, when it's seen, it's usually outside the body, usually outlining the person, and it appears in a variety of different ways. It can appear as some people, it looks like a fire that's coming off them. Sometimes it appears like bubbles just generating off them. Could look like electricity. Could look like spikes and thorns. It really depends from person to person, because not one being's aura, looks the same. Like you could have the same kind of qualities of, like, it could look like fire, but it could be 2 different colors. It could be purple and a red. You just don't know, because everyone's looks different. Most common uses for aura, and it's why I've decided to do this one second, is it's a more physically used one, so you might think it's a little similar to Primal. Well, Aura doesn't work in that capacity. Like, it doesn't improve their senses at all. It does strengthen them, but it also can be used in different effects. So when it comes to Primal, it really only focuses on the body. With Aura, they're able to not only augment themselves, but they can augment objects. So if they're holding, let's say, they're holding a sword, they can reinforce the sword with their aura and change the property of it. So let's say their aura has more of a, like, fiery, like, feel to it. They can make it with someone with that kind of property, can change a sword's temperature, so they could make that the sword is now fiery hot, like red hot. Not actually on fire, but it takes on that kind of property. So if it went on, let's say like it hits leaves or something, it could spark them because of the same property that the aura has. The other thing they can do as aura people is make smaller constructs. Not really bigger ones. Bigger ones are a little harder to hold when you have aura. It's not impossible, but it's just harder to do because it's really putting that mental and physical strain on that body at that point. So it's more used in the capacity of reinforcement and stuff. But they can make constructs, and usually the constructs when they do make them is spears or smaller shields or swords, or it's nothing too grand in status and stature. There's some people who've even made little aura beasts, or not aura beasts, little aura creatures. So they could have bugs that are flying around them, and it's not really bugs, or stuff like that. Again, that last one's not, especially with that's really complicated to try to do if they do beasts or a creature of that kind. Because you have to have your mind split at that point to be able to do that. So again, that's not really common. It's in theory possible, but you really putting a strain on your mind. So for all intents and purposes, aura is really only used as a reinforcement for physical being and augmentation of items or weapons / construction of smaller items like staves and swords. It's the best way I'm going to put it. So yeah, well, that's Aura. And there's nothing much to it. The only people we see use it in the world of Magic Totem so far is the elves. So that was one of the TikToks you saw that I mentioned that was there. And you see that in my book, Scars and Scales by Casey J. Hutchins. I think that's in chapter 3 or 4, I want to say, is when you meet the elves who can do that. And those are the dark elves who are able to make Aura. Along with Alvilda, who I've mentioned a couple times. But if you want to know more about that, you'll have to read the book. So for now, I'll either see you the next time, or the time after that, or never. Bye-bye.